Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom surrounded by deep forests and sparkling lakes, there lived a beautiful young princess who often felt very alone. Even though she lived in a grand castle filled with servants and musicians, and her closet sparkled with the finest gowns in the land, her heart still longed for something more. Every night, before going to bed, the princess would sit by her window and look up at the twinkling stars. She'd gently close her eyes, hold her hands together, and whisper the same wish. I wish for a kind and handsome prince, someone who will understand me, someone who will be my true friend. But days passed, and no prince ever came. Still, she never stopped hoping. One sunny morning, the princess was walking in the palace garden. The roses were blooming in reds and pinks, and the birds were singing their cheerful songs. She carried with her a golden ball, her favorite toy, a gift from her mother. She loved to toss it high into the air and catch it again and again. As she played near the edge of an old stone fountain, something terrible happened. Splash! Her golden ball slipped through her fingers and fell deep into the water. "Oh no!" she cried, peering into the clear water. But the ball had vanished beneath the lily pads. She sat down to the edge, tears filling her eyes. It was my favorite. What will I do now? Just then, she heard a sound, a low ribbit. And a small green frog poked his head out of the water. "Why are you crying, princess?" the frog asked in a gentle, croaky voice. The princess blinked in surprise. "A talking frog?" she whispered. The frog smiled. "Yes, indeed, and I might be able to help you. Tell me your trouble." She told him all about the golden ball. The frog nodded. "I can fetch it for you, but in return, I ask for a promise." The princess leaned closer. "What kind of promise?" The frog looked at her kindly. "Let me be your friend. Let me sit beside you at the table. Let me eat from your golden plate. Let me stay with you and rest on your silken pillow." The princess wrinkled her nose. "But you're a frog." Still, she wanted her ball so badly. So she said, Yes, anything you want. Just bring back my ball." With a big splash, the frog dove deep into the water. Moments later, he popped back up, balancing the golden ball on his head. He tossed it to her, and she caught it with a joyful laugh. "Oh, thank you!" she cried. But instead of waiting for the frog, she turned and ran back to the castle, forgetting her promise entirely. That evening, as the princess sat at dinner with her father the king, she heard a soft tapping at the door. Then came a quiet voice. "Princess, it is I, the frog. You made me a promise." The king looked at her. "What promise?" The princess lowered her eyes. "He helped me today, and I said he could be my friend." The wise king nodded. "A promise is a promise, even to a frog." So the frog was allowed in. At first, the princess was not happy. She didn't want to eat beside a frog. She didn't want to share her plate. And she certainly didn't want a cold, wet frog sleeping on her pillow. But as the days passed, something began to change. The frog was kind. He told her stories of magical ponds, fireflies that danced in the moonlight, and secret corners of the forest no one else had ever seen. He made her laugh. And every night he would say, "Good night, dear princess," in the softest, warmest voice. The princess slowly began to smile again. She no longer felt alone. One night, as they sat by her window under the stars, the frog said, "Princess, thank you for keeping your promise." She turned to him with gentle eyes. "You've been a true friend." The frog smiled. "Would you do one more thing for me?" "What is it?" she asked. "Will you give me a kiss?" She blinked. "A kiss?" He nodded. The princess hesitated, then softly said, "Yes, I will." She leaned down and kissed the frog on his smooth green head. In a flash of golden light, the frog vanished. And standing in his place was a tall, handsome young prince, dressed in royal blue with eyes full of kindness. The princess gasped, Who are you?" The prince bowed. "I was cursed by a wicked sorcerer. Only the kindness and promise of a true heart could break the spell. You saved me, princess." Tears filled her eyes. Not sad tears, but happy ones. And from that day on, the castle was no longer quiet or lonely.
Golden hair that shines so bright in the castle's
The princess
radiant
and the
light,
prince,
her
who had
smile,
once been a
oh,
little
such
green
a
frog,
delight,
became the
turns
best of
the
friends.
darkest day
In time,
to
their friendship
light.
turned into love, and they lived happily ever after.